Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Josh here, Oreo Express. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. We got a lot of winning in store for today, a lot to talk about today. Thank you for joining us here. It is, let's see here. I wish this thing, Wednesday, or no, I'm sorry, Thursday, April 10th. It's going to be that day all day long. So if anybody asks you, it's Thursday, April 10th. Thank you for joining us here at the Oreo Express. If you would please hit that thumbs up button, share this out, get this to the masses, guys. We appreciate you and we say thank you so much for being here, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Let me see who's already in the chats right now. We got old Uncle Bill was first. He's ready for the show. He was in here first. Trina says, hugs, Josh. B. Norton is in the house. Kimber, hello, Kimber. Oreo Express Time says Pixie. And Cade, Texas is in the house. How you doing, Cade? Let's see what else we got here. Susan K. Spencer, how are you doing? So thank you guys for tuning in. If you would please, again, share this out. Hit that thumbs up on your way in here. We got the SAVE Act to talk about today, passed in the House. We're going to talk about that. We got the budget passed the House. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about some of these numbers that are coming out right now. Inflation, the lowest it's been in over 4 years. Now, all we have heard for the last couple, 6 weeks from Democrats, your prices are going up. Inflation's going up. We actually got a video. After the numbers came out concerning inflation, Hakeem Jeffries, the dollar store Obama, is still out there lying to the people. We also got a lot of folks, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on this, upset, are trying to frame Trump. And this is what, if you guys watch this show regularly, which most of you do, we've been saying when the stock market was down, buy. Old Uncle Bill bought some. We talked about it through the chats. We even showed you some stocks where they're at, and I pulled some up. I was like, look, this 709. It's usually like 850. And we talked about Rumble, even Tesla, showed Tesla stock. And now, yeah, and we'll get into it a little more, but now you literally have Democrats saying they want an investigation to see if any Republicans in the House or the Senate profited off the stock market. Well, if they're intelligent, hell yeah, they did. Anybody that has money to invest, when the stock market's low, you put a little money in. And so it's just interesting what they're doing right now. We said it. We don't give financial advice, but I told you if I had some cash laying around that we would have definitely invested in numerous things. So again, this is how they're trying to spin it now. Adam Schiff, AOC, they've never questioned Nancy Pelosi or her husband for all those trades that just happened, like before there's an investigation filed on a company, they sell their stock like 2 days before. And when the DOJ announces an investigation, the stock just tumbles. Oh, just a lucky guess. We got great advisors. So we're going to talk about that. Also going to talk about a couple border things going on. And it's been, it's been a pretty epic day. It's been a pretty epic day to say the least. We got Melissa Naya in here. Hello, Melissa. Naya. Let's see. Texas Bigfoot made it in. Nola made it in. Sugar Bear made it in. So we're almost ready to rock and roll. Who's ready to go? Again, we got one more day, and it's Friday, guys. We might have some interesting stuff for you this weekend. There's some stuff next week. Oh, man. We could have some good live streams. Let's go over here. What are we starting off with first? We are going to look at this. Florida Attorney General has officially charged Ryan Ruth with attempting to assassinate President Trump. We talked about this, was it yesterday, the day before, some of the evidence that had came out talking that he was trying to get grenade launchers, rocket-propelled grenades and stuff from Ukraine, from arms dealers in Ukraine. To think that Ukraine didn't know about it would be a Democrat thought. And we talked about this. I want you to watch this really quick.
Biden and his attorney general sought to. I'm Attorney General James Uthmeyer. On September 15th, 2024, Ryan Ralph attempted to assassinate then presidential candidate Donald J. Trump at the Trump International Golf Club in West Palm Beach. Shortly after the assassination attempt, Governor DeSantis signed an executive order directing the Office of Attorney General to work with our law enforcement partners and investigate Mr. Ralph. After 206 days of stonewalling by the federal government that stemmed from days of the Biden administration, I'm able to now announce that my office is charging Mr. Ralph for the attempted first-degree murder of President Trump, as well as a charge for terrorism. My office, as well as our law enforcement partners, were met with major roadblocks in prosecuting this case during Biden's term. Biden and his attorney general sought to frustrate our efforts and block our investigation into the man who crossed into this state and attempted to commit political violence against a Florida resident. Thank God he was unsuccessful, and thank God we have Donald Trump as president again. The leadership of U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel was instrumental in preserving Florida's sovereign authority to do what is right and bring justice where it is due. We now have a federal government willing to work together to pursue justice. Attempting to take the life of a former president and a leading presidential candidate isn't just an attack on one man. This was a political attack against our Republican form of government and our shared American values. We cannot allow justice to be delayed or denied, and thanks to the President, our U.S. Attorney General, and the FBI Director, we are moving forward in our pursuit. Our statewide prosecutors will work to hold this evil man accountable and keep Florida safe, strong, and free.
Man, isn't that something else? We knew that the Biden administration, we even heard it from Governor Ron DeSantis, how they were trying to interfere into Florida's investigation since it happened in Florida. We had 2 assassination attempts on Trump. The first one, when you look at the investigation, the cremation of the body, we know nothing. We still don't know nothing. Even though Trump's been in office now for damn near 3 months. But under Biden, the guy was, he was an angel. I mean, his apartment was professionally cleaned. I mean, just so much that these were hits on President Trump that I think at that time, some of our three-letter agencies, they knew what was going on, whether it was the CIA, the FBI at the time. They were hoping Trump would be assassinated. And why? Well, because you're seeing it right now, and we're going to get into it today, but we got a little bit of, I think we got some woke stuff for you. You guys can't survive without a little wokeness. What we talked about a little bit, listen to this. Let me be clear. This is Hakeem Jeffries, the Dollar Store Obama. We will hold extreme MAGA Republicans accountable for any corruption, insider trading, and stock market manipulation. So because Trump had a plan to put a lot of countries on notice, bring them to the table. He is the president of the United States. He gets to decide this. And pause, 90% of the tariffs, increase the tariffs to China. Now that he has these 50 to 75 countries coming to the negotiating table. Again, a ploy and a strategy that's obviously working, has worked, will continue to work. I just find it absolutely insane that now if you profited and you're in, and again, I'm actually for maybe some type of stock ban for elected officials, because we've watched Nancy Pelosi. We've watched a lot of these people get really rich off $174,000 a year salary. I mean, you look how they live, and you look at how a doctor making $220,000 lives. They're living much better off than that doctor, and I don't think that's what our founders intended. But it's not against the law yet. We haven't passed any bill. I don't know if we'll ever get them to agree on that. But again, they want to investigate the Trump family. I'm not kidding you. This is all a distraction. You know what? I'm going to be very disappointed if people in this Trump family didn't buy when the stock market was low. Think about that. They say Republicans made money on this. And the truth is, now that I think about it, Republicans, and I'm not talking about just family members or people elected, I'm talking about you and me, conservatives. We had faith in what Trump was doing, right? We we elected him to do what he was doing. We know where our economy's at. We know how we have unfair trade deals. We know how we're taken advantage of. So many of you, I know this, many of you in the chat bought stocks when it was low. Why? Because they're going to go back up. We have faith in President Trump. But now they're saying that was some type of insider trading. So, and then the funny thing is they're also saying, well, Democrats didn't buy stock like that. Well, because Democrats listen to MSNBC, they listen to you Democrats, and you were saying the sky is falling. You actually said before the stock market shot up over 3,000 points yesterday, you actually said there is no way back from this. No way back from this. It's all part of the plan, people. And it seems like just to understand how things are going with these folks. Again, Democrats sat at home and sold because the stock market's going to get worse. Hakeem Jeffries told me to. AOC told me that stock market's crashing. We're going to hit a recession anytime soon. I better get out while I can. Well, Republicans did the opposite, and that's because of y'all. So, again, that was, let me be clear, we will hold extreme MAGA Republicans accountable for any corruption, insider trading, and stock market manipulation, unless it's Pelosi and her husband. Let's see what else we got up here. This was great. Man, when you talk about how crazy the left is, even when it's a leftist thing, there was a town hall with Bernie Sanders. Anderson Cooper had a town hall with Bernie Sanders. Remember, they're pushing Bernie and AOC, and guess what? They're coming to California. We might give them a warm welcome. We're going to talk about that. We got to get our bills paid first, but next week could be a lot of travel for us if we have the funds. Anderson Cooper was, I want to introduce Grace Thomas. She's a local civil rights attorney. And the crazed liberal says it's they, them pronouns, actually.
We're back with Senator Bernie Sanders. I want to introduce Grace Thomas. She's a local civil rights attorney. She's a Democrat. Grace?
It's they, them pronouns, actually. Thank you.
Oh. I want to introduce Grace Thomas. She's a local...
Again, a local civil rights attorney. Again, she got her degree to become an activist. Worked for nonprofits and NGOs. I guarantee I could look her up right now, and she works for one of those that gets funded by quote donations. But listen to that. This is hilarious. I can't believe Anderson Cooper is such a bigot homophobe. Come on.
Back with Senator Bernie Sanders. I want to introduce Grace Thomas. She's a local civil rights attorney. She's a Democrat. Grace?
It's they, them pronouns, actually. Thank you.
Oh.
Good evening, Senator Sanders. Polling and turnout data indicate that
it's they, them pronouns, actually. Going around calling everybody it. I don't know what it did. I don't know. We're just at that point, it seems like. And I just thought that was absolutely hilarious. Jan Doe's in the house. Paget, C. Marcia, Sugar Bear Pixie. Thank you guys for being in here. Now we're going to get to some more Tesla stuff, dude. These people are insane. Again, I think every day one of our shows. So we have Tesla in this show. We won't have it in our next show. But just watch how deranged these people are. And then also, if you know who they are, we don't always know what location because a lot of these accounts just steal footage. But I think he'll get caught, guys. I think he'll get caught. You look at that was some beautiful pictures of him. Great work by the Tesla cam. Take a look. Look at that. Let's see. Oh, he's happy. He's happy. He's going to destroy someone else's property. Ooh, I'm going to put that face on. I hope he gets some jail time. How about you guys? I can't grasp what is going on, guys. I can't grasp what is going on with these folks. Let's see what else. Let's catch another one. Check this one out. Gets out of her car, spray paints, or his car, or its car. We'll call it its, they, them. They didn't know how to, let's see what else we got. So there's that picture. Let me see if that one shows a location. The West Mifflin PD in Pennsylvania are looking to identify this woman who spray painted a Cybertruck. And once again, she was driving a red Subaru, guys. I've told you guys this for a long time. I'm not even lying. If I got my MAGA stuff on, or I'm in a vehicle with MAGA stuff, a flag, anything, I always keep an eye out for the Subarus. Every time. If I got Caden with me and I'm magged out with Rach, we're patriotic, I grab him extra tight when a Subaru drives by. These people are absolutely insane. Talk about the car for the Nazi. These people are fascist, and that must be the fascist car. This one here, Tesla Model Y vandalized. Help identify the suspect. They even got some grocery store or some liquor store footage. Looks like this was in Venice, California. I've been to Venice quite a few times. Look at there, you have a nice little hole in the window. I think that window, if I'm not mistaken, was over $700. He is suspected of doing that damage to the Tesla. Hopefully he gets caught. He gets caught. Now, I don't know. I think I forgot. Maybe I did show you this again. I'm old, guys. I'm old. I got to tell you, I'm like in my 90s already. But I'm not sure if I showed you this one yesterday. But a deranged lunatic in Arvada, Colorado, attempted to attack a Cybertruck owner with a bat as he drove down the street. Are you kidding me? Look at this. You see that? I know you gotta watch it quick. Look, dude's got a bat in his hand, and again, he's driving, so the camera's not getting it all very well. But was he just waiting for a Tesla to come by or what? That is insane. And there's the picture of the guy. Why do they always look like that? Oh, so I think that might have been your Tesla Take Thursday. Nope, we got one more. This one just spit on a Cybertruck, but just imagine, even be a lady. And again, you don't know what these people identify as, but take a look at this one. She doesn't look too happy in her role in her life. Kind of miserable, unfortunately. There's another picture of her, and look at. I don't know if she spits for a living, but needless to say, she's kind of a little bit of a scumbag, right? At least make her famous. That's all we could ask for. Oh, we actually, no, that was it. That was it on our Tesla Thursday special. But again, we're seeing so many Subaru drivers. Like we've always said, Subaru drivers, that they need some coping skills. They need some coping mechanisms. Now, again, you know, me and you, we just try to make it, right? Go through life, make it, live the best life we can with the circumstances. We're not out to take anybody down or anything. We don't want people punished for doing well, but listen to Whoopi. Listen to what she says.
Oh, a 90-day pause. A 90-day pause doesn't mean anything to anyone because people are, as you say, thing they're living with on a day-to-day basis. Now you know what we're fighting against. But I also believe that it's very important to remind people that now is the time for each and every one of us to suck it up and make sure that we know what we need to take care of. If you're in an area where the school district is losing, then you got to pay a little more taxes and you got to help the schools out. If you're finding that your library
If you find you live in an area where the school district is losing, you need to pay a little more taxes. We don't have a revenue problem, Whoopi. We have a spending problem. How about focus on the teachers, get good ones, hold them accountable, evaluate them. Well, your kid tested here at the beginning of the year, tested here at the end of the year. You didn't teach nothing, and this happened on 30% of your students. Thank you for your service, but no thank you. And then the administration, cut at least 60% of administration. We talked about this when I was going to school, when even my kids were going to school. Literally, the whole staff at a school used to be a principal, a vice principal. You had your office staff, like your receptionist, your school nurse, a couple office people just to do attendance and deal with parents and everything else, a janitor, maybe 2 janitors, and teachers. And guess what? When that teacher called in, you got a substitute teacher in there. Sometimes, if the substitute teacher, you couldn't find one soon enough, you'd have a vice principal in there, or you would compact 2 classes for a day. Now you go into these high schools and these junior highs, and this is an administration building. This is an administration building. And I didn't start thinking about all this till about 9-10 months ago, even though I've been into the school system. When we started seeing the charts and the graph that would tell you the cost that's been going up and how much more we spend on these kids, especially, like a whole Department of Education that doesn't educate one child. It's just insane. But Whoopi says, hey, what do you say, Whoopi? What say you?
If you're in an area where the school district is losing, then you got to pay a little more taxes and you got to help the schools out. If you're finding that your libraries are falling apart, you have to give more.
Give more, guys. Give more. I know we're still dealing with Bidenflation, and we're going to talk about some of that here in a minute because we've got some big wins and some great news. Was it last week? I believe it was last week. We broke to you guys right here live on the Oreo Express that everybody was reporting the job numbers for March. Unexpected jobs report. Unexpected, right? Nobody's seen this coming, that this is what some of the places were taking. So everything that the Trump administration has been saying has been happening. Elect Trump, we'll get the job numbers up, we'll bring inflation down. And all we've heard for the last couple of weeks, about 6 weeks, Trump's policy is going to raise inflation. Look at the price of eggs. Look at the cost of your groceries. Our groceries didn't go up. Our groceries are actually going down. I sat down last night at dinner, and the sales ads came in yesterday, and I was going through. I'm like, holy cow, we are seeing some real improvements. And again, we we have to shop with sale ads. So we go to 3 different stores. It's not difficult. It's all within a mile. And if you know anything about me, I actually like grocery shopping because why? I love food. So I was looking at that, but take a listen to CNN.
The inflation. Consumer prices month over month. So this was actually a.
Hold on.
Consumer prices month over month. So this was actually a drop of 0.1%, negative 0.1%. That's the first time we've seen that since COVID. Year over year, the annual inflation.
What did he say? And I just want to tell you guys, I'll put this up right here so you guys can actually see what the headline says. U.S. inflation fell in March better than expected. They keep. I guess their expectations are being met under Trump. Listen.
Consumer prices month over month. So this was actually a drop of 0.1%, negative 0.1%. That's the first.
Negative 1.1%. The first time, listen to this.
First time we've seen that since COVID. Year over year, the annual inflation rate was at 2.4%. This was also better than expected and a 6-month low, moving in the right direction. As far as why this happened, there's a few drivers.
Why? Why? Well, it's because of Biden's policies.
One thing that really played a role here, as you can see the trend here, the inflation rate dipping a little bit. One of the drivers was energy. The fact that gasoline prices did not move up like they usually do in the month of March, that really helped the inflation.
What'd Trump say? His rallies that we went to, and he's still saying, you drive down the cost of energy, you will take care of inflation. You will help with the cost of living. You will lower prices. Again, a lot of the markets. So a lot of these things, again, I come from the buying, selling world, manufacturing. When you have gas prices that fluctuate like ours do in the United States, some of your goods, the cost of your goods delivered depends on the cost of fuel, the cost of energy. And now that the cost of energy is going down, the cost of your items are going down. But once again, U.S. inflation fell in March better than expected. I don't think it was better than expected. I would like to see a little more. But again, we're only, less than 100 days into the presidency. We're going to give them some time. And but this is great. This is great. Look at this. But listen to Trump here in his cabinet meeting.
We're talking about a lot of different things. Consumer prices have actually dropped. There's very little inflation. Everybody predicted a lot of inflation, very little inflation. Energy costs are down. Interest rates are probably down. They scatter, but they're probably down. Prescription drug prices are even to down. We're doing very well. It's been amazing. We had a big day yesterday. There'll always be transition difficulty, but we had in history, it was the biggest day in history, the markets. So we're very, very happy with the way the country's running. We're trying to get the world to treat us fairly. This is something that should have been done 25 years ago, and it wasn't. Should have been done 40 years ago, and it wasn't. But no president was willing to take it on, but you had to. It's not.
And we got some other things for you. Even though as those numbers come out, look at Politico. You got to love Politico. Inflation unexpectedly cools as consumers brace. And look at what they say. Consumers brace for Trump's tariffs. They can't go in. Politico can't go in and say Trump's policies are working. Energy costs are lower, which in turn is affecting the inflation rate. They can't say that. I mean, to give Trump the credit, and I promise you, month after month, let's say it's 1,000, which it won't be, but 1,000 times better in the month of April. They won't say that. They won't give him credit. But I just love that. Inflation, unexpectedly, it wasn't unexpected for many people that knew what Trump was trying to get done. They see, what was it yesterday? The barrel, or last week, I was looking at the price of a barrel of oil and where it goes. And again, when that goes down, that helps our fuel. That helps a lot of things, actually, manufacturing as well. That oil that that comes out of the ground, that helps with a lot of manufacturing processes. This was the White House. Says promises made, promises kept, inflation falls in March. And it says prescription drug prices saw the largest monthly decline. Prices for airfare, used vehicle, and car insurance all decreased. Now, we talked about this. We talk about all the things went up under Joe Biden. Your car insurance rates went up. Your health insurance rates. Now we're seeing those tick down. It's going to take some time to tick them down even more. But it says energy prices fell in March, driven by plummeting gas prices. And as CNN just told you, that month of March was supposed to be an increase in gas price. That's how it historically works. Let's see. This is Trump right here. Our rapid response 47 says March CPI report shows unexpectedly large slowdown in inflation. And it says, we call this the Trump effect. And, all those bad billionaires that are working with Trump that are just trying to get rich. Well, it looks like they know how to move an economy, because I promise you, and this is what people won't tell you, the better off me and you are doing, the more money we're spending, the more the billionaires are making. Bottom line. How about this? How about this one? CNBC. Let's listen to see if they have any excitement.
Up 1/10. Well, that's coming in under -1/10 on headline. -1/10. We're expecting the exact opposite. We were expecting up 1/10, -1/10. Well, we equal where we were in May of 2020 to find a lower number. You're all the way to April of 2020, the heavy COVID-affected months of the calendar. If we take food and energy out, still coming in on the under, up 1/10. We're expecting triple that number, up 1/10. Well, that would equal where we were in June of last year. To find a lower number would be 0 in January of 21. These
amazing. We're getting back to Trump numbers. We're getting back to Trump. They're going back to Trump's lost economy to have to compare this, because we didn't see it under Biden. We didn't see it under Biden. But we do have some interesting stuff. This morning, after all these reports came up, Hakeem Jeffries came out, the dollar store Obama, telling his people
aren't going down, they're going up.
Listen.
Inflation is. President Trump promised costs would go down on day one. Costs aren't going down, they're going up. Inflation is going up.
So Hakeem Jeffries is arguing with everybody right now. This was this morning. There's scare tactics. Now, I always wonder. Now, there's some people out there that have been manipulated by the lies, manipulated by the lamestream media, manipulated by everything that's going on. Some of those folks out at these protests, they're like, I got to get out there and show my support. I can't lose my Social Security. By chance, if any of them happens to see their own news station, CNN or MSNBC, covering this, I hope some of them withdraw from the insanity and say, well, wait a second, I'm going to give it a little time here. Inflation's down, costs are going down. I just put gas in my vehicle. That's less than it's been in a long time. Maybe these things are working out. Maybe I'm going to give it a chance. I don't like Trump, but I'm going to give it a chance. I wonder if there's any of those people that can rationally think like that. This was another one. I love this one. This guy with his PhD, I don't know who he is, but he says, this was the best monthly decline in prices since, check notes, the last time Trump was president, May of 20. Just incredible, folks. Just incredible. The Trump effect. It's working. Again, it's not going to happen all overnight. And yesterday, I wanted to bring this up because when I saw this, I was a little shocked. Yesterday, we covered Trump again reaching across the aisle to work with Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer and the Speaker of their House in Michigan, and working on two issues that is critical for the state of Michigan. And Trump says, "We got you. We got you." The left went berserk, saying that trying to cancel Governor Gretchen Whitmer, trying to say that, oh, she's a traitor. She's a traitor. Bye-bye to the party. Everything else. We showed you the tweets. And then this came out this morning. I understand the motivation behind. I understand the motivation. This is great. This is great.
I understand the motivation behind the tariffs. And I can tell you, here's where President Trump and I do agree. We do need to make more stuff in America. More cars and chips. More steel and ships. We do need fair trade.
Man. Now, I know Trump, one of the things he said, and I get what he meant by it. He's going to unite the country. And a lot of people look at that and say, not going to unite the country. And what he means by that, he's not going to go out there and kiss someone's tail. I almost had to give Pixie $5. He's not going to go out there and kiss someone's tail. What he's saying is, when the economy's doing better, people are happier. When you have a good paying job, when your real wages are up because production's up, the country's doing well, that makes it easier for people to relate with each other. And then when you have somebody like Gretchen, who her state isn't doing the best right now, her state could really benefit from these auto manufacturing, from everything else. And now she's coming out and she's getting called out for that, saying she agrees with Trump on the need for fair trade. You don't have any other Democrat governor. You have Gavin Newsom like working behind the president's back because Gavin Newsom's okay that the makers are leaving California. I said makers. The takers are staying here. Those people that love California's gravy train of freebies, not having to work for things, the illegals getting free health care, everything else, it's not sustainable. And so I think we're going to see some interesting things. You always are going to have those hardliners on the left that are anti-Trump TDS, and Gretchen was one of those. Remember, Gretchen campaigned against him. But I think you're going to have people look at their state and their constituents. Remember, these people care, and this goes for Republicans and Democrats. They care more about staying in power than they do about you. But if they realize you're hurting and their chances of staying in power are slim to none if they continue the tirade they're on, they're going to shift. They're going to shift a little. Might not be what we want, might not be what's right, but they're going to make it look to, appeal to the voters that, hey, I agree with you guys. We need to do something about that. And I think that's what you're seeing there. With everything going on and all the goodness, and we haven't even got to the SAVE Act or the budget that was passed out of the House, Trump's budget. Listen to Rep. Al Green here, guys.
But I do know impeachment.
This is the guy that when Trump was giving his address, what was that, 3-4 weeks ago, and the address to Congress, that he had to be removed because, again, he's just a tough guy. He's just a tough guy. Take a listen to this.
It's imminent. The filing of articles of impeachment is imminent. We are currently in a countdown to impeachment. Now, those who know me, impeachment is imminent. The filing of articles of impeachment is imminent. We are currently in a countdown to impeachment. Now, those who know me know that I wouldn't say this if I were not going to move on with it. So I don't know what you have up your sleeve, but I do know that we will prevent you from having a third term. And the best way to do it is to not have you finish this term. And the best way to do this is to have you impeached and convicted and removed from office. It can be done. I'm telling you it can be done. The law says it can be done. We but only have to have the will to do it. The way is before us. The will is what is necessary to implement the way to an impeachment and a removal of Donald John Trump as president of the United States of America.
Man, where have we seen all this before? It's like a broken record, guys. You've impeached him twice in his first term. If you think a third one's going to do anything but give him more support, give him more fire, you know, let them. Again, I think we're going to see some stuff. Again, I get that people want everything now. There's something called patience, and I'm not the most patient person. But because I understand politics and I do the day and night, it's my hobby as well as my job. And I've been paying attention to it for a while. What Trump has been able to do in the last less than 100 days is more than any president's done in a 4-year term. All the things that he is promising, he is going with. Now we need Congress to act and the Senate to act on some of them. But I think there's going to be some, maybe 2 years away, going to be some really big investigations. Probably not even that long, how fast he's moving. A year away. There's going to be some really big investigations into some of these criminals and where their money laundering and everything goes to and why they're so scared of him. Again, if you're scared of making the country better because it's a Republican leader, that's just insane. Let's see who we got in here. We got Soli. What's up, Soli? We got Trina still in here. Decker MK. What's up? And again, we're going to see more and more of this, but we're also going to see more and more of this right here. Congratulations to the House on the passage of a bill that sets the stage for one of the greatest and most important signings in the history of our country. Among many other things, it will be the largest tax and regulation cuts ever even contemplated. Make America great again. Now, for those of you that don't know, there's some added bonuses to this. This is going to extend Trump's tax cuts. Right now, your taxes would be more if it wasn't for the last time we got the Trump tax cuts. Those are going to expire, but not if the Senate acts now that the House has passed the budget. Listen to, and even last night, everybody was throwing Mike Johnson under the bus. I'm not talking about conservatives. I'm talking about the left. The Republicans can't get a deal made. The Republicans can't get a deal made. And then this morning he comes out and he says, I believe we got the votes. Again, it's called negotiation. It's called, it's part of when you elect somebody, you go up there for them to fight for something. And there were some Republicans that said, hey, there's not enough cut in this. We're not cutting enough out of things. Take a listen.
And the U.S. House of Representatives and the U.S. Senate are going to do our job, and we are going to provide stability. And the U.S. House of Representatives and the U.S. Senate are going to do our job, and we are going to provide stability, and we are going to send this message to all of our allies and friends around the world and to our that America is back, and the America First agenda will be enacted. President Trump's promises will be fulfilled, and we're really excited that today we took a big step in getting that done. We'll continue.
Big step getting that done. Absolutely. And again, what did Democrats do? Whether it came to the budget passing, whether it comes to the SAVE Act. I mean, we'll get into the SAVE Act in a minute. But look at my senator here in California. What a shit stain on society. House Republicans, again, passed massive cuts to Medicaid to pay for their tax giveaway to billionaires. Why? Because their loyalty lies with Trump and his ultra-wealthy donors, not the American people. Now, if anybody wants to go back, I'll even bring those that argue with me on top. When do billionaires make the most money? Under people like Biden, under people like Obama. That's when the largest gap between the ultra wealthy and the middle class happened. Oh, but they don't want to talk about this. Again, There's not any massive cuts to Medicaid, not to the service of the people that deserve it and what it was intended for. What Democrats want is they want a government-controlled healthcare system. And the more and more money we can spend on Medicaid, the more and more we can open up to people to get on Medicaid. That's the idea. That's part of the reason why Gavin Newsom is a big proponent of that. That's why he spent $9.6 billion of our Medicaid money, which we call Medi-Cal here in the state of California, on illegal aliens last year. That's why he needed $3.44 billion just 4 weeks ago, because Medi-Cal said, hey, we have some bills we need paid that we can't pay. We're going to be in trouble. So they got another $3.44 billion. And then he came out asking for a loan of something of over $6 million. None of that money would have been needed if we didn't give illegal aliens free healthcare in this country. That's why so many of them ran to California. The numbers are so underestimated about the illegal aliens that are in California. It's not funny. It's not even funny. But again, what are we going to do with Medicaid? We're going to cut out the bureaucracy. We're going to cut out the overspending, the stupid contracts. We're going to negotiate smart contracts. We're going to be smart about it. And guess what? As Mike Johnson said, and I like saying this myself, if you're a healthy 29-year-old sitting on your couch playing video games, sorry, you don't get Medicaid. And I have to agree. But Senator Alex Padilla would disagree with me. He would say we need to give everybody Medicaid. Listen to this.
Largest Medicaid cut.
More lies. Just like this morning, he said inflation and prices are going up.
Trump and extreme MAGA Republicans are doing everything they can to tank our economy, drive us toward a recession, and gut the healthcare of the American people by visiting upon them the largest Medicaid cut in history, along with the largest cut to nutritional assistance in American history, all in service of enacting massive tax breaks for their billionaire donors like Elon Musk. It's a toxic scheme that they cannot hide from because it continues to be on full display on the House floor and on the Senate floor for the American people. The budget resolution that passed the House today will set in motion some of the most extreme cuts to healthcare, nutritional assistance, and the things that matter to everyday Americans in our nation's nearly 250-year history. It's a disgrace. This is just the beginning. And House Democrats are going to aggressively push back every day, every week, every month until we bury this reckless Republican budget resolution in the ground.
Not going to happen, big boy. Dollar store Obama. Hune said, I took accounting and I am losing my mind watching how our government is running America to the ground intentionally. Yes, we got an article on Doge, some of the stuff they found with unemployment, and you guys are just going to flip your lids. It's insane what we're seeing, right? No private sector company would ever stay in business longer than 6 months if they ran like our federal government. The money, your tax dollars going to things that make absolutely no sense. And I'm so happy that we are getting all this cleaned up. It's going to take some time, guys. But take a look at this. This is what Democrats are defending. This is what Democrats are scared of. And, not one Democrat has tweeted anything positive about Doge or the fraud they are catching. And I would consider this fraud. This is from Oreo Express. Check that out. That guy's crazy. It says, shocking fraud exposed in unemployment insurance claims. A recent survey by the Department of Government Efficient has uncovered jaw-dropping levels of fraud in unemployment insurance claims since 2020. The numbers are staggering. Check this out. 24,500 people over 115 years old claimed 59 million in benefits. I said, really? How many 115-year-olds are out there looking for work? 28,000 kids aged 1 to 5 years old somehow claimed $254 million. Toddlers filing for unemployment? Come on. 9.7 thousand people with birth dates 15 years plus in the future raked in $69 million. Time travelers cashing in, apparently. And in one absurd case, someone with a birth date in 2154 claimed 41,000. Yes, you read that right. 21,054. Says this isn't just a glitch. It's a glaring sign of systematic fraud draining taxpayer dollars. Billions are being siphoned off by fake claims while honest, hardworking people struggle. The system is broken, and it's time for serious reform to stop this madness. There it is. There's the information. So let's talk about this for a second. 24,500 people over the age 115 claimed $59 million in benefits. So what this is, part of this is, I don't know what it all is. We don't know where all the money's going. But when you have an ineffective government and you're pretty much dealing, a lot of these places have Commodore 64s. They're over there, they don't even have calculators figure this stuff out. When we're seeing the technology that our government has and how outdated everything is, and they're okay with this. This is just part of doing the job. Just like some companies are different than others. Some companies, they'll have thousands of dollars stolen from of merchandise stolen each month, and they put that in their budget. Now, they could do something about that, but they say, you know what? We're not going to deal with it right now. $7,500 worth of merchandise will be stolen this month. And they just move on. They write that off. They plan ahead that that's what's going to happen. Well, here in our government, we have billions of dollars that are going to fraud, whether it's Medicaid, whether it's our unemployment insurance, whatever it is. And you have these groups that have figured out, oh, guess what? I can just go in here, create a fake account right here with fake birth dates, and I can do this. Or let me look up some dead people. Oh, 115 years old. I'm going to use this one. This is insane, guys. And I'm sure there's some people that also inside the government that was getting this money as well. So let that investigation go. Democrats haven't talked about this. I don't care whether you're Republican or Democrat. Do you want this investigated or not? Do you think this is fraud? Do you think this is a bad thing? When you ask a Democrat, they say, well, Trump's doing this. Elon did this. Republicans are doing this. No. Let me ask you again. Is this okay with you? They can't say, no, it's not okay. Oh, check that out. Old Uncle Bill gifted 5 subscriptions to the Oreo Express. Hune, Paget CA, Soli, Kimber. Thank you, Old Uncle Bill. Make sure you give Old Uncle Bill a big thank you and a high five there in the chat. I appreciate you guys supporting us. We can't do it without you. Speaking of supporting us, we have a raffle tomorrow. You got less than 24 hours to get into the raffle. Again, it's the first of the month, and we probably about 40% through our bills right now. So we got to get some bills paid off so our data don't get shut down so we can do some major traveling. And so we're going to have a raffle. If you guys want to get in and enter, let me show you what's in that raffle first. We get the Donald Trump lives here stamp, guys. So every time you have some bills on you, this will make you go to the ATM and pull out cash, guys. So you could just stamp it and even put it right back in there. But we got that. One lucky winner will get all these things right here. We got the Trump hair can koozie. Great for your spring barbecues. 4th of July is coming up, especially if y'all have liberal family members you got to be around. Then we got this sign. It's an 8x12 sign. It says, notice, This place is politically incorrect. We say Merry Christmas, one nation under God. We salute our flag and give thanks to our troops. If this offends you, leave. And the We the People decal. We the People have had enough. Those items plus 2 of the Trump bucks that Renee sent us. Renee sent us 4. We're going to use 2 for this raffle, so you can have these right here. The United States of America, in God we trust. It's $25 for President Trump. So if you guys want to get in, we have some links on the bottom. Every $10 donation gets you in for 1 entry. So if you do $30, you get 3 entries into the raffle. We do it live here on the podcast. And again, you can go to Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $ Oreo Army. We have GiveSendGo.com/Oreo 2024. And if you do the Zelle transfers through your banking app, we have a Zelle link. It's on our website. You can head to our website, theoreoexpress.com. Head over there, check it out. There's the donate now button. And again, we appreciate it, guys. We can't continue without you. We are 100% viewer funded, and we want to say thank you so much for your support. Thank you for keeping us on the air for so long. And again, we are extremely behind. And so your support helps tremendously. Let's see. Let's listen to this. Because again, Trump tariffs killed the economy. Trump's policies are raising inflation. Not the truth. Everything Trump said that would happen is happening.
Rest. That's our plan. We have a meeting today with all the top principals where we're going to present to the president a list of what we think his priorities might be. I'm sure he's going to have his own ideas about where to move things. But I can tell you that we've already got offers on the table for more than 15 countries. 15 countries. Great. Now, that doesn't mean there's a deal, but it means that you've heard the much larger number for people who call and they want to talk. But there are specific offers on the table. I've been informed from USTR of about 15 countries right now. And so this is moving fast. The thing that I joked about when we said the 90-day pause is that we're going to go around the world in 80 days and have 10 days of rest. That's our plan. Go
around the world in 80 days and have 10 days of rest. 15 offers on the table with other countries that, again, in one sense or a sort, are manipulating the trade here. And people don't understand it. It's like people say, why you put a tariff on Australia? Well, Australia doesn't let our cattle ranchers, our farmers, import beef and things to their country. Why? But we don't have those type of stipulations on Australia. So I don't need a kangaroo anyways, but check this out. The SAVE Act. The SAVE Act. That is to secure our elections. The SAVE Act. And you have had people for the last 2 weeks while we've been talking about the SAVE Act saying, oh, newly married women won't be able to vote under the SAVE Act. This is what they're telling people. They've came out with so many lies, just like Social Security. Originally, a month ago, Donald Trump and Elon Musk has taken away your Social Security. Now they've narrowed it down to they're going to make it harder for you to access Social Security. Because, again, all they do is lie. They want to create panic. They get all these Geritol folks outside of a Tesla dealership that, you got walkers, you got mobility scooters. There's traffic jams at these Tesla dealerships because everybody's 75 and older. And I'm not bashing people that are 75 and older. I am saying, you know what, do some homework, look into what you're doing because you're believing a big fat lie. Listen to Congressman Jasmine Crockett. Today, we are voting on what Republicans are calling the SAVE Act. But let's be real. It's straight up voter suppression bill. They are literally trying to make it harder for millions of Americans to exercise their right to vote. I'm voting no. Hell no, actually. Now, if you guys couldn't see me, but I was bouncing my head while I was reading that so I could get the correct display of Jasmine Crockett in. Not what it's doing again. We want to ensure that if you're voting in our elections, again, federal elections is what they're talking about. We've had states that have allowed communities to have illegals vote in their state elections. Actually, it was just kicked down. That was sued because it was happening in New York, and the Supreme Court in New York said no, illegals cannot vote in state elections. California, that you go to San Francisco, you can vote in their local elections if you're an illegal alien. If you're an illegal alien, you can get to choose who your school board members are. That's what they wanted, because look at San Francisco schools. They're trash. I honestly wonder if the kids don't get dumber when they attend. Now let's listen to this one. Again, more
red tape for people just trying to cast a ballot. This is a bill in search of California.
California.
Thank you. Thank you, Ranking Member Morelli. I rise in strong opposition to the so-called SAVE Act, a bill that is a modern-day poll tax targeting American women and low. This bill bans voter ID. It bans using driver's licenses as voter ID unless they're backed by additional proof of citizenship, a requirement that excludes nearly all driver's licenses and real IDs issued today. Now, for women who have changed their names, often through marriage, this means showing a passport or a birth certificate that may not match their legal name. That would have meant that my grandmother, who had long since lost her birth certificate, would have been ineligible to vote under this bill. In California alone, that would include more than 7 million women. Now, this would force those women to pay $130 just to get a passport they need to vote. With nearly a third of Californians lacking passports, this bill would cost them more than $1.25 billion statewide. If you have to pay to vote, that's called a poll tax, plain and simple. It is also unnecessary red tape for people just trying to cast a ballot. This is a bill in search of a problem. We have enough trouble getting American citizens to vote.
They're triggered, guys. They're triggered. They're triggered. Listen once again, Senator Alex Padilla, California,
election, or a woman who's married and changed her last name, and all of a sudden her ID doesn't match her birth.
Listen to how
laws and protections are working. What would the SAVE Act do? It would make it harder for members of the military, for example, when they're deployed to a different base and maybe have to re-register, and it's not so easy from not maybe being able to vote in the next election. Or a woman who's married and changed her last name, and all of a sudden her ID doesn't match her birth certificate. This is voter suppression, and it's unnecessary. The last big piece of hypocrisy here, Jose, is when Democrats have proposals on how we strengthen our democracy and voting rights, the Republicans are so quick to say, no, states run elections. The federal government should not dictate how states do it. But when it's Donald Trump who has these horrible ideas, they're silent and want to advance it. Even Mitch McConnell knows better and has spoken publicly against both the executive order that Donald Trump is trying to do and the SAVE Act, which includes the same provisions.
They need illegals. We've told you that when we get so many illegals in this country, that they go to these, they get more representation in blue cities. Again, that's why they say illegals must be counted in the U.S. Census. That's why Trump says, well, guess what? We're going to deport them then. If you guys are utilizing them as pawns to keep power, gain power, and destroy this country, we got some problems. And from Oreo Express, look at that. SAVE Act passes the House. The U.S. House of Representatives have passed the SAVE Act, H.R. 22, with a vote of 220 to 208. The bill received strong support from Republicans, with 216 voting in favor and 4 against, while Democrats largely opposed it, with 4 voting yes and 208 voting no. Independent voted 0 in favor and 5 against. The Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act aims to enhance election integrity by requiring proof of citizen for voter registration in federal, not state, in federal elections. This measure seeks to prevent non-citizens voting, addressing concerns about the security of the electoral process. The passage of this bill marks a significant step towards ensuring that only eligible American citizens participate in federal elections. Though it faced significant opposition from Democrats, this bill now moves to the Senate for further consideration. Our Senate needs to step up and pass this. Bottom line, we need the SAVE Act. We need this to go on. I'm going to cover this a little more. This popped up. I didn't notice this until we were about 5 minutes from starting the show. But it says another SCOTUS win for Trump. Trump does not have to pay DEI grants. And it says, it looks like American Association of Colleges for Teachers Education's National Center for Teacher Residencies, the Maryland Association of College for Teacher Education, was suing Linda McMahon, Secretary of Education, the United States Department of Education, Donald J. Trump in his official capacity of President of the United States. And it says, upon consideration of the party's submissions, and the Supreme Court's recent order granting a stay pending appeal in the matter of Department of Education versus California, we grant the government's motions to stay the preliminary injunction. So that is a temporary win for Donald Trump. That is great news. We want to see more of that. Now, we've covered, guys, we've all spent a lot of time at the border over the last 4 years. We've spent weeks in areas. We've spent months out on the road at the border, bringing you all the illegal aliens coming across, Border Patrol being Ubers, trying to get Democrats, calling Democrats, emailing Democrats, Alejandro Mayorkas, lying to the American people with Joe Biden. This is just a Republican talking point. There's no issues at the border, and we're down there and we're showing you bus loads. We're showing you lines of thousands a day and Eagle Pass and everywhere else. I want you to listen to what Dollar Store Obama Hakeem Jeffries says about the border. Let me refresh it.
Are proposing new spending for border security funding in this forthcoming budget bill. Is that something that your conference will support, that sort of security investment?
We have to look at the particulars. We believe that we need to secure the border, make sure that it is safe and strong, that the rule of
We need to make sure that we secure the border, that it is safe and strong. You can't make this stuff up.
Law, consistent with America as a country of a nation of laws, is fully and completely implemented at the border. We believe we have a broken immigration system and we need to fix it in a comprehensive and in a bipartisan way. And we also believe that we must always defend dreamers, farm workers, and law-abiding immigrant families and protect them from aggressive overreach by the Trump administration. Those are the principles that we have consistently articulated publicly.
Those are the principles we've consistently articulated. Yeah, I mean, shoot, Democrat. I mean, Kamala finally went down there once she was running for president, right? She was the border czar. And there was no issues down there. Why? Because, again, it became the most hot topic button of the last election. And then when we went down there, we even got on camera, Border Patrol saying, well, it's election time. You won't, the spigot's turned off right now because the government controls who comes in and out. And Mayorkas had the floodgates open. And honestly, that man needs to spend some time in Gitmo, probably the rest of his life. How many American citizens have died due to illegal aliens? We cover it all the time. You just had the boy in LA. His soccer coach was illegal alien out of El Salvador. Raped and murdered him, left him on the side of the road. Yeah. We actually have an interview of one of their parents. It's sick. Check. Speaking of LA, I seen this. I'm going to open it up for you guys. 2 LA schools deny entry for federal agents as immigration enforcement fears ramp up. Let's pull this up. For what's believed to be the first time in Los Angeles since the administration of President Donald Trump announced a crackdown on immigration enforcement, federal agents tried to enter a Los Angeles Unified School District school this week. They were denied entries. 2 federal officials attempted to enter Lillian Street Elementary School and Russell Elementary School on Monday, both located in LA's Florence Graham neighborhood. School administrators turned them away following Los Angeles Unified School District's protocol. The agents were from the Department of Homeland Security. The district later confirmed agents from Immigration and Custom Enforcement were not involved. So they're turning away Homeland Security, not even ICE, guys. Says the Department of Homeland Security has not commented publicly on the matter. The attempt to enter the LAUSD schools come after Trump's administration authorized federal agents to enter sensitive areas to conduct immigration-related investigations, something that was against the Biden administration's guidelines. Yesterday, we showed you that principal in Ohio. Hopefully, she's got her walking papers that wouldn't allow the police to go into the school because there was an active bomb threat, and argued with police. Yeah, that's where we're at. Check it out. Mayorkas' son. Lee County Sheriff's Office now confirming the suspect they just arrested for kidnapping and raping a 14-year-old girl in North Carolina is an illegal alien. Alfonso Villalba Bustamante, 41, charged with 2 counts of rape and abduction of child. Another American citizen, thanks to Democrats. 14-year-old girl. I love this one. Let's put this
campaign aimed at encouraging illegal immigrants to leave the country. 5,000 illegal immigrants have opted to leave the country voluntarily in the past month using a Custom and Border Protection app. The Trump administration is ramping up a messaging campaign aimed at encouraging illegal immigrants to leave the country of their own will. DHS releasing this flyer addressed to, quote, illegal aliens. It threatens daily fines for those with deportation orders who choose instead to remain in the U.S. 5,000 illegal immigrants.
So 5,000 so far using the CBP Home app. I almost said CBP One app. CBP Home app to self-deport. This is good news, guys. That's 5,000 that we don't have to pay for. We don't have to fly out anywhere. Even if we had to fly them out, it would be worth the money for sure. Worth the money for sure. Before we move on, really quick, guys, check this out, 1775coffee.com. Weak coffee is for the weak, and at Rumble, weak has never been part of the mission. No fillers, no fraud, and no settling for mediocrity. Just like 1775 coffee. It's single origin, small farm, hand-picked, specialty-grade coffee that stands for quality, free speech, and calling out BS when it matters. Forget stale, mass-produced beans, roasted just enough to hide the flaws. Dark roast hits like a Trump tariff. Medium roast keeps it bold without the bitterness. And Vitality Mushroom Blend, real energy and lasting focus, no synthetic garbage. For K-Cup pods, whole beans, or fresh ground coffee, go to 1775coffee.com. Use code STUDIO for 15% off and start your morning with coffee that stands for something. Oh, and every dollar spent enters you to win a Cybertruck and $30,000 cash. So go check them guys out over there, guys. Go check them out over there as we get towards the, what do we got now? So this came out, the Department of Homeland Security. This was from Oreo Express on X. You guys got to follow him. Says the Department of Homeland Security just waived environmental laws to speed up a border wall construction in Southern California. Under President Trump's second term, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem used the 1996 Illegal Immigration Reform Act to bypass regulations. The focus, a 2.5-mile stretch near where? Jacumba Hot Springs, 70 miles southeast of San Diego. Funded by 2020-2021 appropriations. Despite fewer illegal crossings, as AP News reported on April 8th, over 50 miles of wall have been built since Trump's January 2025 inauguration, which, per Border Patrol Deputy Chief David B. Miller. And here's some of the photos from last year. This is what they're talking about doing in Jacumba. Let's see, open up. You guys remember that? There's a couple areas where the fence goes into like a hill area, and back in the day, that barbed wire wasn't there like a year and a half ago. That barbed wire wasn't there until Hakumba, once the election started heating up, they went and put that barbed wire up. There's multiple locations. This right here is in Hakumba. This is one of those that we filmed.
Today's June 13th, about 11
June
a.m.
13th,
here on,
so less than a year
the
ago.
left coast, and we got another group of Biden's newcomers here who just crossed over illegally into the United States. Today's June 13th, about 11 a.m. here on...
So we spent a lot of time in Hakumba, multiple trips to Hakumba, brought you guys all with us on our live streams. And so they're going to be building some... I don't know if I'm going to be near San Diego. There might be some events that take us down to San Diego. If so, we'll go get a little video of them repairing and putting up some... filling the gaps, if you will. So we'll know more on that as things change there. Let's go to the next one. Great news for all Americans who value safety. This is also from that guy, Oreo. President Trump is taking a firm stand against sanctuary cities, and I fully support this move. No longer will criminals be protected at the expense of victims. It's time to put America first. These cities have been a disgrace, mocked around the world, and we must put an end to these death traps. Withholding federal funding from a city or state that allows this to continue is strong leadership our country needs. Let's make America safe again. America first. No more sanctuary cities. That was in reference to Donald Trump's Truth Post, where he said no more sanctuary cities. They protect criminals, not the victims. They are disgracing our country and being mocked all over the world. Working on papers to withhold all federal funding for any city or state that allows these death traps to exist. There'll be lawsuits and we'll go back and forth, but it will affect sanctuary states and sanctuary cities, folks. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. No, Karen. No, that is not the truth. There's no part that is electrified. And hello to Gold Card Karen. I see her in the chats. I see her comment. Gold Card Karen's in the house. She earned herself a gold card, and I want one of them bad boys. I'm jealous, Karen. What else do we got? Let's see. I think that might have been it for today's first show. Don't forget, guys, we could really use your support right now. We have a raffle going on. Any $10 donation or more gets you in. If you do $30, that's 3 entries. It's $10 per entry. We will be doing it live tomorrow morning, most likely in our first live stream. I don't know if we'll have 2. I'm thinking if we have 2, it'll probably be... I'll bring somebody on the panel for the second one, and it'll be done under Rumble Premium. I have to do 5 hours a month on Rumble Premium. But if you guys want to enter, this is what you're entering for. Check this out. The Donald Trump Lives Here stamp. So whenever you go and you're spending your money, like I said, you'll go to the ATM and pull out 20s just so you can do this. You'll get that item. One lucky winner will. They'll also get the Keep America Great Trump hair can koozie. This sign, notice this place is politically incorrect. We say Merry Christmas, one nation under God. We salute our flag and give thanks to our troops. If this offends you, leave. And the We the People have had enough decal for your laptop, for your back window of your car, and then also 2 of the Trump 2025 Trump bucks right there. We have 2 of those. Those were donated by Renee. Thank you, Renee. And so if you guys want to get in, every $10 entry gets you in for 1. You can go to Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $ Oreo Army, givesendgo.com/Oreo 2024. 2 of them are right down there on the bottom. And then if you prefer to use Zelle, the bank transfer app, we have a Zelle link on our website. Head over to the OreoExpress.com. That's the OreoExpress.com. When you get over there, scroll down, you'll see the donate now button. It'll have our links. And again, this is we are extremely far behind. We need your help and your blessings. So I want to say thank you all for tuning in. We will be back later today. probably around 3 o'clock Pacific, 6 o'clock Eastern. If everything works out, it could be a little later, but we will have a whole nother show for you. Come join us. I want to say thank you to the mods. Thank you for everything, everybody keeping the chat clean. Thank you for everybody who blesses us with the donations. We can't do it without you guys. Have a wonderful couple hours till I see you again. And make sure you're following us on all the platforms. I'm telling you, get on X. Follow us at Oreo Express on X. We're also on Twitch. We're also on Kick. Make sure you go over there. So just in case you're missing notifications from one of them, you can get it from another one. So we'll see you guys soon. Have a good afternoon.